Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, and I'm at Oliver Lee State Park in New Mexico near Alamogordo. And I was out for my morning walk, and there's a nice bird here. You might be able to see that. He's trying to sing, but I guess he camera shot. There he goes. Anyway, this gentleman here to my right is from, well, sort of Florida, I guess. And he's out traveling, but he's got an interesting story because he had a road trek. So what is your first name?
Clint.
Say again?
Clint. C-L-I-N-T.
C-L-I-N-T, Clint. And Clint, you've got a tent now, I notice. And tell me how you came to be in a tent from a road trek.
Right. I'd spent a long time, years, maybe 5, 6 years, studying all the different RVs and chose ROADTREK as Class B. And I really thought I'd liked it for 6 weeks. And then I realized it wasn't the right thing for me. And it had all these systems that I didn't use. And it didn't have the flexibility that I wanted. And I had to be careful where I was going to park. I was parking at a restaurant or something. So anyway, and also the ground clearance was so low that I worried about even driving into a gas station because drainage sometimes can be a dip just before going into a gas station. Yeah. And so it was just all these different, and then I started having trouble with some of the systems and I didn't use, and I still haven't repaired them. So I went back to my tent camping that I had done back in my 20s, and I've been tent camping ever since. And I can comfortably camp from 24 degrees is the lowest to 90. I don't like to go over 90, and in my tent. And I have total flexibility. I have a Subaru Forester, and everything goes in there, and I have more room. And I've camped, or not camped, but visiting my former stepdaughter in New York City. I parked on the street in Queens, and
so you slept in the car?
No, I just slept in her apartment.
But
the thing is, parking there is an enormous problem.
A
road trek, there's no way. I'd have to pay, set it up somewhere. I don't know what I'd done. I wouldn't go. That's what would happen. I'd have to fly in or something. So I have all the flexibility I need. And but then every once in a while there's a problem. Like I had 3.5 inches of snow up near Santa Fe at a National Forest campground. And so there's that other side. You have to be a little bit more flexible. Yeah. But it gives me, that's what I wanted. So I'm willing to do it.
How long have you been tent camping from the road trek?
I did road trek for 2 years, and then I tent camped actually a little less than 2 years, about 1.5 years. And I've tent camped since April of 2014, and I've camped from Arizona all the way to Maine and back.
Do you have a sticks and bricks home, or is this your home?
This is my home. Okay. And the last thing in the world I want is a home. And if I might, sometimes I kind of would like to settle down and have my tribe of friends, but I have a daughter who lives in Savannah, Georgia, and she's been kind enough to share her friends with me. And in fact, that's the reason why I don't tent camp all year, is that I spend 2 or 3 months there during the winter holidays and go to a lot of parties, have a lot of fun.
Well, would you recommend this way of life to others? Give me an age range. Are you over 65 or in that range?
Way over 65. I turned 72 in January, and by living out in nature and getting rid of as many worries as possible, I dropped my blood pressure, my systolic blood pressure, from somewhere between 190 and 195, up in the really super dangerous area, down to 130 now. Wow. And no medication. I don't take anything. I just I walk and I talk to people. Find nice people to converse with.
No, that definitely will help you live a little bit longer. Anyway, you got a phone call?
It's a robocall, guaranteed.
Oh, I get those all the time. Well, anyway, Clint, it's very nice talking to you, and I'm trying to think, is there anything you'd like to add for those people that are fixing to retire, thinking about full-time or part-time RVing, and they're looking at, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and so forth? Would you say that a tent would be a viable option for a couple?
It would be. There's a couple from New York State, just right up here, and they're on a road trip from New York to Tucson, over to Yosemite, and then up into Canada and back. And if they can do that, just about anyone can. And but I just really can't quite see those big fifth wheelers and the big Class A's. I see them trying to work their way around curves and campgrounds and everything, and worrying about overhanging brush. And so they may feel like they're getting more, but actually they're going to eventually get less because they can't go into a lot of the national forest campgrounds, which are closer to nature, where you have deer actually walking through your campground.
What type of tent do you have there?
Mine is an it's no longer manufactured, but it's a Sierra Designs, and it's a lot of thought has to go into buying a tent. A lot of the ones are, I'm not sure how waterproof they are, and this one I wanted one that had it's all nylon, so it's lightweight, and I don't bother to restuff it every time I move. I just kind of fold it up, I got plenty of room in my car, and just fold it up and put it in.
How long does it take to set it up? Because I see you've got all the little tent pegs.
It takes about 5 minutes to figure out the level.
Okay. And
because I want my head to be above my feet. And then after that, maybe another 5 minutes. It's easy. I mean, I can break camp in 15 minutes maybe.
Okay.
And then I'm gone.
What do you sleep on? What kind of bed?
That's the one thing I've done from my old tent camping days of the 70s and 80s. It is a super 4-inch thick mattress, and full size and everything. And I'm having a senior moment here.
Is it an air mattress or memory foam?
It's a combination of memory foam and air mattress. It self-inflates to a point, and then I can put more air into it for my back or something.
Make it firm. But now, do you remember what the brand name of it is?
Well, that's what I'm struggling with here.
Coleman?
No. It's none of that. This is
REI something?
This is one that it's over $100, but it's worth every penny. In fact, I'm more comfortable sleeping in my tent night after night than staying in a motel. I only stay in a motel if there is something extraordinary going on.
Let me ask you this. How do you stay warm on a 25-degree night?
Well, what I've done is back in my old days, I had sleeping bags that went down to 20 degrees or so.
Right.
And so they, and then I wound up being kind of like a hot dog, because if it's in hot weather, it didn't work for me. I'd unzip it and I'd rotate, and one side would be cold, one side would be hot. Now I still have a sleeping bag, but it's a cheap, maybe 50 degrees. I have layers. So on a 25-degree night, I'll have normal sheets, fitted sheet, and flat sheet. Then I'll have one cotton blanket, another cotton blanket, a cheap unzipped sleeping bag, and then I'll have a wool blanket on top. And I'll have on 2 layers of clothing.
Okay,
and,
but so you don't use any, quote, artificial heating like a...
No, I've heard of it. I don't need it. I mean, I just flat don't need it.
Okay, so you just wear the clothing suited to the environment, whatever it is.
Yeah, I just put on, thermal underwear, and then underneath the clothing, and just maybe 3 pairs of socks. On a 25-degree night, it's going to be 3 pairs of socks.
That's a three sock night.
And also, so I do another thing. You lose a lot of heat through your hat or your head. And so I was sleeping with having a net pulled down over me, and it hurt my ears because I'm a side sleeper. So I have a down vest, and I started sleeping with that folded and over my head. Works just as well or better, and doesn't hurt my ears.
And for cooking?
Cooking, I don't.
You don't?
I literally don't. I had a stove. I gave it to my daughter.
You used ice chest?
I picnic once or twice a day, depending on where I am, and then I go into town. I travel by myself. I go into town. I'll go to a restaurant. I may be going in later today to Alamogordo for a Blake's Whataburger green chili cheeseburger. And so that's where I interact with people if I'm not interacting. I really like people, so that's my interaction, and I just have an ice chest. And
you have an ice chest, okay. And so that's pretty simple. That's about as simple as you can get. I'm trying to think of something else I might want to ask, or that the people watching this video might want to ask. We've got the type of tent, it's a good $100 plus tent. You've got bedding, which is a combination air mattress, memory foam. In the day, you're either in the car or in the tent, obviously.
Yeah, it depends on the weather. I would prefer, at this campsite I don't have sunscreen. That's really nice in the desert, like this.
Yeah.
We're in the Chihuahua Desert, and if you can get out of the sun, then you're okay. And so
Right.
what I do is that I use the sun in the morning to warm me up, and so I'll stay in bed until the sun comes up. So today, what I'll do is I'll go into Alamogordo when it starts getting kind of hot, and if I get too hot here,
you do your day trips all during the day until it cools down.
yeah, I'll go in. I
Yeah.
know there's a park. I look on my phone and do a Google search for
Okay.
parks, city parks, and go
Yeah.
find one. And they always have sun shelters. And
Yeah.
there's 2 of them in Alamogordo, and one by the train tracks if I want to watch the trains go by.
No,
and,
believe me, you're living the
and
simple
I just
life.
set up. I've got a really nice Kemp chair that's very portable, and
Right.
I don't use bag chairs, and so it's so flexible. That's what I want. I want flexibility, and and then because my life is based upon making positive decisions, and so with this way, if I decide to do one thing, I'm off and running. If I go something else, I'm gone.
Amen. I mean, I sound like I'm talking to myself. I mean, I do the same thing, but I have a casita, a fiberglass.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
But
Well, at some point, I may change to that.
But it's for one person, it's okay. But I didn't mean to interrupt your day, but so that's a really nice tent. I'm going to get up a little closer and then
Okay.
we'll see how you got it set up here, and then I'll end the video, Clint. But I appreciate your courtesy. Yeah, this is really nice. It's all sealed at the bottom, so little rodents and stuff can't get in. And if it rained, the water's not going to get in, even if it's stacked up a little bit. But yeah,
And
so
it can handle 2 inches of snow on top of it. That's what I had
you found that out.
night before last.
Yeah, well, they've got, where Sugar Eat is, the Sugar Eat Canyon in northern New Mexico, northeast. It's a state park.
I don't know that
They
one.
had 4 or 5 inches yesterday.
Oh, one thing special about my camping here, thanks to a ranger here at Oliver Lee State Park, when I was here about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I couldn't get my tent pegs into the ground.
Oh,
And so I told her, hey, I can't spend the night. I would really like this park. And she said, well, go to Walmart and buy these tent stakes.
these are good ones, huh?
Well, these are for, let's see if I can pull that out. It's $1, and it's like a nail.
Uh-huh.
And this is to attach to your tent if you are having trouble attaching it. I don't really need this,
Well,
but
did you have any trouble driving those in the ground?
not a bit.
Really?
I drive it into the ground until it's deep enough where it's firm, it will hold. One person over here drove one into the ground. I don't
And you
know
can't
why.
get it out.
They couldn't get it out. I tried to pull it out, and you need a claw hammer. But anyone who's tent camping needs a claw hammer anyway, in my opinion, to pull their stakes out.
Yeah.
So I can't get that one out.
So how long have you been living in this tent?
This tent I bought I started living in it because I bought it before I sold my ROADTREK, and so I started living in it in April of 2014.
So you've had it that long, 4 years?
Yes, but and I'm in it at least 9 months of every year.
Wow.
Because I'm so much more comfortable in my tent than any motel, and
Oh,
so
yeah, I understand that.
but this is my last year. I'm doing things like we stretched. It was beginning to. I found tenacious tape online
Okay.
that I can repair it, and because I was getting it splits in it, I went to Walmart and got these little bungee cords to take pressure off of the tent and to extend its life. And so I'm just doing different things like that to get finished this year. Then I'll buy another one next year.
All right. Well, Clint, thank you very much for your time. That's very informative. I appreciate it a whole lot. And I wish you well in your travels, and keep your health. You look very healthy, and your blood pressure down. You're feeling pretty good, right?
I had I helped people, and a little 3-year-old boy when I was helping his mom, and he gave me a some kind of virus last
Kids with germ
in
kids.
January. You know how it goes. Like, he didn't know what "don't cough on me" meant, and so I had 7 weeks of that. But then, camping is when I actually got back in shape again, and I started walking, increasing my walking, and but I'm good for. I'm going to do this for several more years.
Good for you.
And when I stop tent camping, then I'll probably go to a small RV, just like a casita.
Yeah, casita's a good one.
And it's easy to pick up because I have relatives in Texas.
Yeah,
That's where they're manufactured.
You Rice, Texas. You got it. Talk to Jonathan. Anyway, Clint, thank you very much. I'll end the video now and let the viewers see your backyard or your front yard, depending on your point of view, right? Anyway, guys, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all my videos. Doesn't cost you a penny to use it. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water. And you won't want to snack. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in deeply. Hold it for a few seconds and breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. Is that good for you? You bet. What else? Stretch, walk, exercise your body once or twice a day. Great for you. You'll feel better, probably live a little longer. What else? And probably the most important, stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. That is your brain. Put in good ingredients. You'll enjoy life a whole lot more. Adios, amigos, from New Mexico. Bye-bye.